Hello everybody and welcome to ESPADA versus Gambit Youngsters. We are here for map number 2, which is Overpass. Gambit Youngsters map pick as they are 1-0 down after what must have been a heartbreaking map to lose, being ahead at least 14-8 at one point, and then falling all the way down to 16-14. ESPADA coming in with confidence, a map that they can play, that they've traded in the past 1-1 with Gambit Youngsters. And they start with the opening duel as well, as Inters falls and the rotation of Shiro is spotted. He's caught with a little bit of damage on the way.
I was having a bit of issues connecting to the server right now, Mitch, so...
Hey, no worries at all.
I'll get it in a moment.
Well, we've just got the
issues
bomb
going
points.
on,
The ESPADA going back in for the retake. They've got 3 players in towards short water. And Sotfik on low HP in the CT spawn. Patsy out leading the charge to take a kill. They look to the close right where Nafni is up above, but they've missed him. Luckily checking it afterwards. Patsy's on a tear in this pistol round, and Gambit Youngsters falling apart at the seams. Patsy in with a 4K, and ESPADA take the round 1-0 here on Overpass.
Yeah, solid stuff from ESPADA. Patsy starting things off. He's usually the supportive element of this team. We talk about him being the player that does all the heavy lifting, all the dirty work. And well, he comes into this tournament and he's showing up again. I think, honestly, Patsy is one of those players that's kind of underrated in this team. And he's one of the players that are underrated in a lot of teams. I mean, his style of play, because he does all these roles where no one really wants to play them. They're completely unforgiving. But he also frags in those positions, which is incredible. He just sits outside apartments on Inferno. He still gets kills there. He sits in pit and does nothing on Inferno. He still gets kills there. And he's really showing up here today. We've seen him on that double op. Patsy's certainly a player to keep an eye on. I think he's got a lot more potential than he's maybe being shown here in ESPADA. And maybe if he gets some better roles across the maps once they realize he has that skill, well, I think we're going to see Patsy do a lot of damage in the CIS region. We've seen him on that double op, displaying great skills.
Oh yeah, definitely. In this series in particular, he's been on fire. Good shot by Dexter, only up against the Glocks, of course, so it should be fairly easy. Patsy's in danger. They realize he's up close. It's time to swarm him, but luckily only Inters was close by. That's the bomb dropped, so reinforcements are on their way. And even with Demet receiving a headshot, you see how little damage those Glocks really do. It's quite a challenge to lose a fight to them. And as you can see, ESPADA, they're not out for a challenge today. They're looking to win this round cleanly, build up their CT economy, and they might well need it as Gambit Youngsters come in with a full buy in round number 3.
Well, this is the first sort of test for them coming into this matchup. You know, Gambit Youngsters coming into Overpass are the team we've got to favor because they've decided to pick it. This map they played a little bit more. Again, in their last matchup, we got to see they looked a little bit rough. So this is the first eye test to see what they've got in their gun rounds. It's going to be Shiro on the AWP, who still was second on the team in terms of kills, but it looked pretty rough on Mirage, I have to say. He lost a lot of those opening duels. There's a couple of rounds where he looked good, but for the most part, not kind of the Shiro performance you'd be hoping for. But 18 and 19. So it's showing up on Overpass is almost a must. And while he's going to go down early, another opening duel lost for Shiro. Sotfik down into one short, gets rid of Nafani, and it's now Supra into Maxwell. A 3 versus 4. A kill comes in from Sotfik as he drops Axel in reply, and now it's a 2v4. The 2-man advantage in play here for ESPADA.
This is what I was afraid of for Gambit Youngsters in this series. If Shiro's even showing up on 80%, that's just not enough against a talented opper like Dexter, taking the shot to Supra, catching the tippity tip of his head through the wall to Inters, and another shot connected. What is that? Talented opper, I said, but that's a little bit too much. My God.
What the hell was that? They just are not safe anywhere they go in water. He finds that first kill onto the head that peeks up. He takes him down, hits the wall bang of the player, but that's not good enough. It's not enough to be a warning shot. He finishes him off through the wall as well. Incredible. Huge play for Dexter, and now 3-0. ESPADA, oh, this is good. And I'm feeling a little rough if I'm Gambit Youngsters. Although we have seen ESPADA get off to a great start. They won 6 rounds in a row. They went on to lose 12 in a row or something around those numbers. I think it might actually be more. So we're in a situation now where God knows where this goes. It's such an open environment, but Pistol coming through at Supra, taking down Finnegan. Axel falls early into the round. 4 versus 4 in play.
Every kill Gambit youngsters can find here is a massive positive. It's always going to be difficult for them to connect. Just the pistols in play. Couple pieces of Kevlar, but really it's nothing.
I don't know if he caught how that corpse is looking in the water right now, but it's pretty funny looking.
I think they're client-sided.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We're seeing the same.
That is unfortunate, because that was kind of funny. Well, I mean, towards this B-bomb site, Gambit youngsters looking for the round win. It's going to be Dima that disallows the first push in Mob. Teammate now Saltfig. They're going to do a little bit more, but the kills, they're actually coming through here from Gambit youngsters. Shiro now into the 1 versus 2. Deagle back towards the bottom of the monster ramp, and now with 30 seconds, Shiro's going to flee the scene. He starts to wrap around back through tunnel, and currently Patsy up in heaven. He has a good position here, so even if Shiro comes through short, unless he hits the immediate headshot here with a deagle, I still favor Patsy in winning this duel. Well, coming around the corner, there it is. Shiro does fall. It's ESPADA with 4 rounds in a row now. Look at the money moving into this next round, Mitch. 5 rounds, and we've only played 4 of them, and already there's 8k in the bank of most players for ESPADA. This is scary times for Gambit youngsters.
It definitely is. Gambit, they're falling behind. I think that's pretty clear.
I think it's fair to say. Yeah.
But you do have to always give them a little bit of faith, considering it's the T side, right? You can be slow to start. It's their map pick, though, so... And considering how the previous one went, I don't give them a whole lot of room to maneuver with. They've got to come through here. Start stepping it up pretty quickly. Going through that smoke's probably not the way, Supra. It fades, though, and then he starts to move on forward. Flash over. Dima with the spray down. So much damage done. They don't expect another player, but... Oh, he's only good for 1, and that was onto the 10 HP inters.
Yeah, Finnegan probably should have done a little bit more of that. Shiro and Axel now into a 2 versus 3. Still ESPADA hold the advantage thanks to Patsy, but Dexter, he's arrived to the party alongside Patsy towards short. Now the flashes go through. The team looking to get back in, but it's a headshot delivered onto the dome of Patsy. Now Gambit youngsters, instead of committing to the B-bomb site, still have a minute left, so they pull themselves back and are now setting up a little bit of a different attack now into B, taking their time. Axel posted up on the angle. Dexter, he is holding on towards Monster, realizing Gambit have slowed it down a bit. Kubi trying to relocate, but they're just hoping for an over-aggressive play from the CTs, and Shiro doesn't spot the head, not peeking up from the water pit. Is Saltfig, so Dexter, there's the kill, stops the crossing of the bomb, and now it's all on Shiro. The damage has been dealt the round 1, and ESPADA with 5 in a row.
They're just giving them no quarter at this point, Dinko. It's looking insane. ESPADA absolutely dominating. At least, though. At least Gambit get a buy here. They can pull out whatever they want. Utility, armor, weapons. The Galil's a weakness for Nafni, but everyone else is looking chirpy. And we get to see yet again what Gambit youngsters can do up against this CT side.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do anything about it here. Gambit youngsters with the open hands of Shiro, the AK-47s, and Galil here for Nafni. ESPADA, the op available for Dexter, the M4s now as well. So much money. But youngsters not only need to win this round, but they also have to limit the casualties on their side and inflict mass casualties on the ESPADA team to start this comeback of the economy. Kind of a situation a lot of people are facing right now, trying to recover the economy. Just a minute left. Patsy boosts up over the top of the flower bed, spots Inters, takes him down.
Yeah, that opening for ESPADA. Look at Dexter, even going aggressive afterwards. He's down at the toilets. You can see Saltfig is moving his position so he can cover the left side, make sure that Dexter doesn't get pushed from behind. They've got short on lockdown. Patsy even going through the toilets, but Gambit are looking towards the B site. They've changed focus in this round. Great smoke by Finnegan. It's a 700 IQ one, we promise. The completely intentional smoke as he goes over towards barrels. I don't think he's got an angle there to do anything. They're already out. Nafni's able to catch himself one, but they don't know about barrels. They're going to clear it. The smoke covers them for just a moment, but unfortunately it doesn't quite do what it maybe could.
Well, Nafni with the kill. It's going to be the man advantage in play for Gambit youngsters, but it's pulled back by Patsy, a player that has been unbelievable so far. 11-1. He's going to turn back, looking for his 12th kill, and he will take down Axel. And now it's a man advantage back in play here for ESPADA. It's all Patsy in this round so far. And Onafni and Supra looking to try and win it. And there we go. Should be the round picked up here. Dexter with the AWP. Back towards Graffiti. He finds one kill. Now into the 1 versus 1. He could still win this, but the time, it is starting to tick beyond recovery. Dexter just being toyed with. Supra's head pokes up for a moment, but Dexter doesn't see him. Okay, there we go. Supra takes the kill. It's the first on the board here for Gambit youngsters. But again, Patsy making it expensive for them. Look at the money on most of these players. Shiro, Inters, Axel, not a whole lot of cash.
No, they're not exactly looking rich right now, are they? It's the benefit of the damage that was being done by Gambit youngsters. Now there's a fairly tough decision to make, in all honesty, as to where they're going to take this.
I'm completely not against a buy here as well, because obviously, look at Gambit's money, it is terrible. So ESPADA can very easily win this round and then go on to dominate for the next few as well. So this is definitely a warranted purchase and almost it's the perfect decision. They have to go for it here. So buy coming in, it's not too bad. I mean, they do have a little lack utility, one kit in play, for the most part. Far better buy than Gambit youngsters who are now picking up Mac-10s and UMPs, Mitch.
Yeah, the weaknesses are definitely there. For ESPADA, though, their choice has left them down to a FAMAS with a little bit of utility. You can see that they're, as you were saying, you can't be against a buy in this kind of situation because they are looking fairly decent. The only downside is the lack of helmets in play for the CTs, and that's where the Galils, 4 out of 5 of the weapons, all of a sudden become much more viable because they can get those nice squishy heads. As the timeout comes to an end, Gambit youngsters need this round. Failing to connect this, ESPADA gain a massive advantage. Just fly away with this half.
Fly away, Mitch. Wish I could do that. And what? It's going to be the push in towards the B-bomb side. Demon swinging. They all commit towards him. It's the first kill through the smoke. The headshot picked up from Finnegan as well. And immediately, 2 kills collected here for ESPADA. This is a nightmare scenario for Gambit youngsters as they lose every player so far. It's Shiro and Inter stuck in the monster tunnel. Inters will reply with 1. Shiro as well on the Mac-10. Okay, small chance recovered here for Gambit youngsters, albeit very small. Mitch size small.
Wow. Thanks, Tenko. They have the opportunity, I suppose, yeah, but with low HP on these players, ESPADA should be able to wipe them up pretty quickly. Gambit making the decision to go on a rotate. You can see that they're already towards the T spawn, and it looks like B isn't going to be where they look to hit in the end, but they're taking a long time. Slowly
I think
walking
once they realize the time is taking so much here that ESPADA always have to send one player up to A, right? And that's going to be Patsy.
Yeah.
A player that's been brilliant for them, and he's already up there now, Mitch. So I'm not favoring Gambit youngsters' chances here, especially being so far away from the A bomb site already. And they don't have any smokes. They do have 2 Molotovs and a couple of flashbangs, but no smokes. That kind of affects things.
The further rotate as well. Dexter's here, Patsy. Gambit youngsters just so predictable in this spot. They've taken so long. It's been a 50-second rotate. What the hell? And they're walking out, hoping that it's just going to be clear. The molly goes to dumpster and bank. That keeps them back. They can plant it now. But it's now or never. The smoke goes down towards bank. Planting open for both angles they're worried about. That is brave. But they might get the reward. It prompts them to push down aggressively towards CT. 1-for-1 trade's not good enough. Inters has to win this fight. Patsy spraying away. Inters knows he's on the right side now, but he's conscious of the second player being around there, which gets his head ripped off. 6 for ESPADA, but at least a bomb plant for Gambit youngsters, which in all seriousness is a necessity if they're going to lose that round.
Yeah, coming into that round, they weren't ever going to be favored. And it's kind of unfortunate because they've just won their first round. It was a long time coming, and because of the way they lose it, I prefaced that round with they not only need to win this round, but they also need to inflict mass casualties onto ESPADA while also keeping players alive on their team. And Patsy, he's been an absolute nuisance for them. In that round, they probably would have won it without losing too many players, but Patsy just goes in, gets 3 kills, does so much damage on towards them, and in a way actually probably wins them that round as well. So he does damage in that round himself, so Patsy is an absolute god right now. And again, usually seen as the support player, the player that does all the, lack of a better word, bitch rolls within the team.
Very nice. I'm sure he'll I love hearing that back later.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, when I was casting with Blood in ESL1 Road to Rio, we were kind of discussing Patsy in this situation. And, oh, how are these wall buys? How much damage have Gambit taken through those walls?
They just shouldn't go towards water anymore. Not because they're approaching it poorly or anything like that. It's just the universe is conspiring against them. I think it's clear.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams actually getting a lot more damage done through those spams now, so need to be a little bit more aware. I would be almost guaranteed that you'll probably start to see Molotovs come into that position in gun rounds quite consistently just to prevent that spam, because you're taking so much damage from that spot now that you can't really afford to take it every single round. So probably see a little bit more utility usage in towards that graffiti CT area. Although 4v5, man advantage picked up, Dima's able to find that opening kill, but Gambit Youngsters heading back in towards B. Currently setting up inside of the monster tunnel. One off towards short, so this is a chance for Gambit, but it's not looking brilliant, I have to say. We still should be seeing Finnegan light them up with his M4.
Well, he's certainly lighting up Super. He took his time on that kill, just enjoying it, savoring, and eventually taking it. It's like Hannibal.
He's kind of like placing the crosshair exactly on his head. Just gives him a little millisecond to realize what's coming his way, and then just headshot. There we go. Clean as you can get it. USP headshots have to be one of the most amazing feelings in the world when you get those one taps. So it's kind of similar to the 1D. They're very rewarding. Like that's the thing about Counter-Strike that a lot of people love, right? It feels rewarding when you get good at the game. When you finally get to find headshots. You know, you and I don't know much about that, Mitch, but I'm sure it is.
Yeah. A much better.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go. 1-for-1 trades. Dexter gets the opening, but Nafni pulling it back. This is one of the better starts for Gambit Youngsters, where they haven't found the opening, which has been pretty consistent. Dexter flashed off the angle, not able to hit the shot in the pre-fire. But they don't know about Finnegan. He's snuck all the way up on long, up close. He's hearing the steps, knows there's a player in towards playground, so Sotfik was more than ready for that peek.
Yeah, man advantage now for ESPADA. And I feel like when we talk about Gambit Youngsters having those players that are the top rated in the tournament, and Gambit Youngsters being the top rated team in the tournament, just take a look at the teams they're playing against, and you kind of realize why, right? Coming into this tournament, there are a few weaker teams that you would expect Gambit to be able to get the beat down on. And now they push forward. This is why the challenge is a lot more tough, and it's going to be Saltfake shutting down Supra, Dima, and Saltfake finding the rest of the kills. 8-1 here for ESPADA. Oh, it's just not stopping. They've already won the half, and now Gambit Youngsters finally getting a buy back in. It's just going to be rifles. No AWP for the hands of Shiro. Barely any utility here for Shiro as well. He can just about afford an AK and armor. Get a decoy. Guess he can ruin my statement cleanly saying he won't have any utility. But when we take a look at the Clutch Island for them so far, the teams that they've beat, that they've been able to get those huge ratings against is Simon, and Simon are the only team they've actually beat in this tournament, and they look terrible. So, I mean, a lot of that is probably quite inflated. And okay, you could say, okay, nice, Shiro and Axel looking good in the tournament with their statistics, but when it's mattered and Shiro has played against the good teams in this tournament, he has not been good. He has been completely lackluster. Played against fours, didn't really do much at all. First map here didn't really show up either. So, if Shiro's coming in and playing against the better teams in the closed qualifier, not really able to show up, I'm not feeling confident for Gambit Youngsters moving forward, because this is not going to be enough.
No, and that's the problem that I had coming into this series. Like I was saying at the start, that game versus Forza just looked so shaky. And when you're going across a full best of 3 and Shiro isn't showing up the way he should, immediately I'm pulling back. I'm saying, oh, this ain't the Gambit Youngsters I'm used to. And day to day, things clearly haven't improved. You can't put all the onus on Shiro. I mean, it's not his fault explicitly, but that's definitely been a large factor. You look at Mirage, their lack of mid-control consistently. He went for 5 opening duels within the first, I think, 7 rounds and lost every single one of them. You cannot do that. And Dexter got so much confidence off of it that he can play a super aggressive opping style now. He has no pressure on him whatsoever because he knows he's the best opper on the server right now.
Yeah, I agree that you can't really put all the pressure on Shiro. but again, he is the star of this team, so you almost have to look at him to be the player to put up those numbers. And when he doesn't, you've got to ask questions, because that's his job in the team, is to perform the best on the roster.
Especially
and
with Axel. Oh, there you go, yeah.
And Axel has picked up the mantle, and he's played good in every game that they played so far. Even against fours, posted a 1.22 rating. It was only positive by 4 kills, but still much better than that of Shiro, who was -9. So,
and you know, those things aren't mutually exclusive, right? It's not like if Axel has a good game, Shiro has to have a bad one. So, or like if Shiro has a bad one, Axel has to stop. If they were both here together, it'd be an easy game.
Yeah, and we'll get right back to these points, because Gambit youngsters have somehow got themselves into a winnable position here. 2 versus 2, 4 HP on Saltfig. He's the only player off towards A right now. If they take him down, this is going to be the round. Oh, he takes him down. Nafani goes to the floor, and Saltfig with a follow-up kill as well. Inters goes down. That is just heartbreaking coming through for the Gambit youngsters. The round they really could have won there, Mitch, but it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, well, he missed a lot of shots at the start, so I was getting very worried.
Yeah,
did have
especially
an
being low HP. That doesn't really help.
3 HP with an op, and he's holding out the USP, which makes sense in a 1v2, I guess, and he knew that Gambit were lit up. I presume that call was made. 9-1. Look, it is still a position where Gambit can come back into it. They can be in a spot where it's an okay half if they find the rest of these 5 rounds. Problem is, short of someone stepping up on an insane individual performance, they have not looked good on Overpass so far, and this is a map that is by far their favorite map. Of the last 13 times they've played it, they've won every single one except for that game versus Forza. 12 out of 13. That's an insane streak. They've played it even more than that, but I don't have those figures off the top of my head. I just remember they were on a 12-round win streak before, or 10-round win streak before Forza shut them down. And look, if you're in that kind of position where this is a map that you dominate on normally, and then you come in here and it's 9-1, we've not seen anything from your T side that really instills faith, and you're behind in the series. Well, excuse me for not having a lot of faith. Look, Shiro can't even find that opening. Nafni taken down. He had the cover from afar. There's 3 players on long. Inters looks like he's going to go for a quick play out there. That trade's not going to work at all. Although Shiro eventually answers back, they're still at a man disadvantage.
Well, Patsy gets up on top of the half wall. He'll shut down Shiro. Dexter able to come in as well. It's super gone. Does leave Axel into a 1 versus 4 with an AK, and he falls off towards long as well. 10-1. ESPADA, what a showing from this team. It's unbelievable. And I did talk about the fact that ESPADA can play this map. It's kind of a similar scenario as Fours, actually, where it's not a map that they're specialists on by any means, but it's a map that they're willing to play. They can lose it, they can win it, and it kind of is based on a day-by-day performance. And right now, they're just looking better than Gambit youngsters. And I'm scared for the reason that Gambit youngsters, like you said, you've highlighted so many reasons as to why this map should be good for them. And they're losing against teams that aren't even fully comfortable on this map. And not losing closely either. It's pretty convincing right now. It's 10-1 up. This is not looking good at all. And again, it just gets worse. Dima through the smoke, taking down Supra. And it feels like Gambit youngsters always have a man deficit coming into these B hits.
Going forward with the pistols, hoping they can get a little bit done. That nade onto Nafni, though. Inters and Axel already super low. They are softened up for these defenders. As Patsy was thinking about it maybe being an A hit, but they decide, nah, this is definitely B. They might even have spotted the bomb as well. There's a gap in that smoke for Shiro, but he's shot from below and not able to do anything about the player up in heaven as Dexter sits there covering his teammates, but he can't even fire a shot. Can't see a T as they're all falling for the rifles up close.
Well, Axel, now the last remaining player, absolutely far removed from the situation. 11 rounds added to the tally here for ESPADA. Axel happy to save his deagle. Oh, well, Dima's looking for these no-scopes. And Axel just sits back down.
I don't know if I'd be doing that with 24 health, Dinko.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But, I mean, they're having a great time right now. Axel, okay. You know exactly where he is. Gonna try and do some damage, but Dexter gets rid of him in the end. And, well, 11-1 on the board. Oh, this is already a brilliant half. Even if Gambit somehow win the last 3 remaining rounds here, ESPADA already just so comfortable going into the second half. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know if Gambit youngsters is going to be able to even make this competitive now.
Well, at this point, Dingo, you know, all faith is pretty much gone in this being a good half or anywhere near an okay one for Gambit youngsters. best they can get is the best of a bad situation with 4 rounds in the board.
Yeah. I just want to also bring up the point that the last time they played against fours here on Overpass a couple of days ago, they actually lost 12-3 in the first half in this scenario, where they started on the T side, they only managed 3 rounds. They did pull back 7 in the second half to get 10 rounds overall, but even then, a couple of those rounds at the end were inconsequential. So yeah, this is looking quite similar to that performance against forwards.
Oh, the nade. There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
The opening they needed at long last.
Still 4v4, of course, though, because ESPADA are just never going to lose that opening battle.
Have they lost an opening duel so far? They've definitely lost. No,
I think they have.
traded. Hold on. Let me have a look.
Gambit Youngsters just setting up outside of the B-bomb site, not going in just yet. Still a little bit of time to play with.
They haven't.
But due to the... Oh, that's embarrassing. That's just dreadful. And that's the thing, though. The fact that it just looks so good in these opening rounds. I said it. I feel like Gambit are always going into this with a man deficit. And they are. Again, look at this. 4v3. They finally attack into the B-bomb site. Put their man down. Luckily, they trade back this time. It's sort of fake. Questionable decision, but it works for 1 kill. Still a 2 versus 2. The near damage is so good, but this might be one of those rounds where Shiro pops off. 3 kills. Axel as well backing him up. And then if there's 2 players you want left alive, it is those 2 players. And a little bit of something here for Gambit Youngsters. They might be able to recover this half to 4 rounds. But even then, like I said, it's still looking rough.
That's actually depressing. Losing 13 out of 13 opening duels. I don't recall Gambit anywhere near consistently finding good trades on those. You know, on the CT side, you can win an opening duel and end up in a worse situation if it's 1-for-1, right? But that hasn't been the case. Usually it's been something like this. Dexter goes down in con, finds it onto Supra, bails out, that's it. Dima's 5-for-0, having an absolute whale of a time on the B-bomb site. As Gambit Youngsters look to challenge them there, and they've made the right read. This is the weaker defense overall with the only 2 players there. The AWP also not in this spot. But looks like they're going to take their time and go for this boost up above. It was being watched for by the op from heaven, but this time without that op being in play, Onus falls down to Dima. He doesn't realize that they've already boosted up, but he wins the fight. How does he win that fight? Explain that to me.
Well, I can, basically. Dima just good. And then basically, I mean, Gambit Youngsters is kind of sucking right now. This is awful top tier analysis, but it's true. Gambit Youngsters coming into this are just losing everything. Nothing's going their way. Literally nothing. And ESPADA, they create their own luck. They are certainly in good positions to deal with it. That's good though from Shiro. Just jumping up and down. Dima jump spotting, gets caught because he's jumping directly up instead of side to side, I believe. So that definitely cost him. But look at this flying. Patsy, the man that started off this game as an absolute beast, finally getting that flank on, getting involved again, and now Shiro, he's going to be under pressure, but Patsy reads it well. He knows there's going to be a player on this corner, but the shadow is going to give Shiro an advantage. He takes down Patsy, and a 2 versus 3, still recoverable here for Gambit Youngsters. 19 seconds, though. They've got to go into this B-bomb site and sort fix position. There's no smoke, there's no utility to get him off the angle, and now it's just Shiro, and he's going to go down as well. Finnegan getting a 12th round on the board here for ESPADA as we move into the last round of the half. This could actually be even worse than their performance against fours. And what are the pauses?
Yeah, that's another great question, Dinko. 12-2 down, not a pause. Oh, wait, I think they used 1 pause earlier on, about halfway through this absolute massacre.
Yeah, but you need one now.
Apparently not. Gambit say, screw it. 2 pistols, 2 AKs, and an op. And they're going to go in for a 2-man stacking connector. I think it's to try and deal with Dexter's early peak. But this is another thing we haven't complimented ESPADA for all too much, is that they've been really hard to predict. They're changing up their setups again and again. They had last round Dexter go down for the peak and connector. This time Patsy goes down, makes a little bit of presence, and then they just go back for a passive short hold. Very, very different. And for Gambit Youngsters, in an already very rough environment, they're struggling to survive here. When you can't actually round on round predict what your opponents are going to do, it gets a little bit harder.
If Gambit Youngsters go in an entire game without getting an opening duel going their way, I'm going to be so impressed. I have to say that will be it's hard to do, especially on their map pick. It's quite strange. maybe it changes on the CT half. And while Patsy takes 1 kill, it's again a good opening kill from ESPADA. Nafny able to pull it back as Patsy goes down, though. At least they've been able to trade most of the time. They've been able to at least turn them into 4 versus 4s. And especially because ESPADA have now got so confident they're making one-and-done plays where they're just kind of swinging and taking that fight. They guarantee themselves a kill, but they're dead after. So that's at least giving Gambit a small chance here. The bomb is going to be going back to B with the rest of the team as well. Inters is left trying to sell the fake over towards this B bomb site. And not really working for him. He's going to pull himself back in towards middle. Now the push from Gambit Youngsters comes in towards this lower bomb site. Shiro goes down on the initial attack. 9 seconds, bomb on the floor, and not winning this round. Inter's nowhere near. It's 13-2 at the half for ESPADA. What a showing on their team's map pick, on their opponent's map pick. And we come into this with ESPADA looking like they're going to go to the main event.
They definitely are. And a very disappointing performance from Gambit Youngsters, which I think you can deduce yourselves at home. They came in as favorites by quite a long shot, I think, in the eyes of some of the gambling sites. In mine, it was close to an even fight, but and you mentioned it as well, Dick, you know, close favorite for Gambit, but still a small advantage. This kind of result shouldn't happen. To be absolutely stomped out like this is almost out of the question in the beginning of the day, and yet we end up in this spot after a Mirage that they very well should have won and completely bomb out of in the end. And now this.
It's a weird scenario. Certainly for the Gambit Youngsters, they have a lot of work to do for their T side if they're going to be able to compete, because their T sides over these last 2 best-of-3s that we've seen them in have sucked. Dexter and Dima finding kills. Big frag there on towards Nafany. And out Shiro and Inter is the last 2 remaining players. Gambit Youngsters getting locked out of this pistol round as well. Shiro will try his best, but it's going to be huge. And there it is. Dexter, big pistol round, 3 kills, stays alive in 1 HP. And that summarizes Gambit Youngsters' luck in this game. It's going to be 14-2 now. ESPADA 2 away from victory in the series, 2 away from taking their spot in the main event of the WePlay Clutch Island. And yeah, it's unbelievable. They still haven't won an opening duel, really? Have they? I didn't quite catch. I can't remember 1 round ago. That's bad.
Nope.
Got to mention or something. But yeah, this is so rough from Gambit Youngsters. They've got 3 deagles, 1 scout and play for Shiro. They've got to go for the force buy. They almost have to win this, Mitch. They lose this, it's job done.
Job done.
Oh, you've done it again.
That's
Yeah, thank you very much. I want 27 HP. Shiro, down low. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Supra up in towards short. They're getting a little bit of control here at Gambit Youngsters. But ESPADA, they're sending all of their players over towards A.
An Axile up close in toilets. He can go big with the deagle. And now's the time to do it. This force buy is what it all relies on. It didn't feel like... Oh, hold on. That flash over. It's going to be huge. Axel can swing. He goes through. He finds 1, but that's it. Axel shut down afterwards. The push into toilet's not going to work for Nafny, but on the bomb site still lurks a Shiro. 26 health and a scout. He's running the bank, and he's managed to cash in and stay alive. But a oh, no!
Oh, okay.
Through the smoke, he loses his head. And although Supra finds 1 from behind, it is a 3v2. The pistols for Gambit known to be in these positions. Finnegan just waiting for Supra to come on through. Come on down to Bargain Town. Supra cashing in and getting a great deal out of that one with Dima in a 1 versus 2. And all of a sudden, Gambit can actually win this round.
Oh, here comes the con man now. Dima with 1 kill, looking for the follow-up. 1 HP left on Supra. The time ticking, no kit. It's all about playing the time here, and Dima's done it. Supra, he's got a dodgy product, and he's going to die. It's 15-2, 1 round away here. A huge 4K from Dima. He's 20-10. He's having an amazing performance. And ESPADA, just 1 more round, and they will be in the main event here of WePlay Clutch Island.
ESPADA have just come into this one and completely pulled the rug out from under Gambit Youngsters. I mean, from that second half of Mirage until now, Gambit Youngsters have looked the same. It's been this identical performance, flat as can be. We've got a huge drop-off from the likes of Shiro. He's got 10 kills at the moment, but that's really not where it needs to be. Mirage was the most disappointing.
You mentioned drop off from Shiro, but look at the drop off from Axel. 5 and 16.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, he still played well in the other series they played and they lost against Forge, right? He still got a decent rating, but this is just not the performance we've seen from Axel, unfortunately. They utterly destroyed Simon, but again, I feel like all the statistics got skewed in that because Simon looked really bad.
What I will say, Dinko, is Axel's the only player who's gotten an opening duel now with that previous round. He's actually successfully done it. He was traded out immediately and lost his teammate, but, you know, an opening duel's an opening duel. That's what they always say.
It is, and they've ruined that statistic now, unfortunately. It's another wall bang. How many of them are we going to see in this game? Luckily, it's only a ESPADA this time. Now, Dima walks forward, headshot through, Axel gone. Oh, a follow-up could be there for Dima, but he goes down quickly. And Finnegan there to assist, but Sotfik getting aggressive. It's cleaning up. It's just Inter's the last remaining player. And, well, this is probably our last round casting here at the WePlay Clutch Island. What a quick day. And Inter's now all the way back inside the middle. Flash is getting him up. He'll try to find something, but there it is. ESPADA, they qualify for the main event. We'll be seeing them over the next few weeks playing in the WePlay Clutch Island. And Gambit Youngsters not out just yet. They go down to the lower bracket where they'll play against the loser of Fours versus